Accusations of an elaborate murder plot involving a fetish website, all ending in the brutal killings of a 37-year-old pediatric intensive care nurse mother and a 38-year-old man who prosecutors say was lured to the couple's house. Those are the accusations Brendan Banfield, who was an IRS agent at the time, is facing.
This isn't your everyday affair gone wrong. This is a double murder trial drenched in sex web catfishing, FBI-style planning, and one of the most twisted alleged cover-ups you'll ever see. The name? Brendan Banfield. And today we're going deep inside the courtroom as a former federal agent fights for his freedom. You think your dating life has drama? Wait till you hear how this one allegedly went down. Welcome back to What's Done in the Dark. Back in February 2023, in Fairfax County, Virginia, Christine Banfield was found stabbed to death in her own home, and nearby a man named Joseph Ryan was shot. At first, Brendan and the family au pair, Juliana Fedez Magalhaes, claimed that they walked in on an intruder stabbing Christine. But prosecutors, they say it was the plan, a murderous setup to cover up an affair.
Accusations of an elaborate murder plot involving a fetish website, all ending in the brutal killings of a 37-year-old pediatric intensive care nurse mother and a 38-year-old man who prosecutors say was lured to the couple's house. Those are the accusations Brendan Banfield, who was an IRS agent at the time, is facing. On February 24, 2023, police were called to this house in Herndon, Virginia. Juliana Perez Magalhaes, a Brazilian au pair for Brendan and Christine Banfield's 4-year-old daughter, had called 911. When police arrived, she told them she and Banfield had left that morning, leaving his wife Christine at home. She said when she returned, she saw a man entering the home and called Banfield. She described walking with him into the house where she and Banfield found the man holding a knife to Christine's throat.
And Brendan said, police dropped the knife, because he had a knife. And then he said, drop the gun to Brendan, they were out.
The au pair told investigators the intruder stabbed Christine to death. She and Banfield then shot and killed the man, Joseph Ryan.
Our officers arrived into the home, and they found a horrific scene. What they did is they found Christine Banfield in an upstairs bedroom. She had been stabbed multiple times in the upper body, and Joseph Ryan, who had been shot multiple times in the upper body.
But prosecutors say it was all a setup. They allege Banfield and Magalhaes were having an affair, and that Banfield concocted an elaborate scheme to murder his wife. Prosecutors say they continued dating even after the killings. When Magalhaes was arrested 8 months after the deaths, this photo was on the nightstand in now their bedroom. Banfield and her smiling. Nearly a year after Magalhaes was arrested, Banfield was indicted on 4 counts of aggravated murder and 1 count of unlawful use of a firearm. Officials say the key to their investigation was blood spatter analysis that showed Christine's blood was smeared on Ryan's body. And then in yet another twist, just 2 weeks before her trial was set to begin, Magalhaes pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter of Ryan and agreed to cooperate with prosecutors. She may even take the stand and testify against Banfield. In her telling of events, she says Banfield told her he wanted to get rid of his wife beginning in fall of 2022, shortly after their affair began. According to her, he created an account on a sexual fantasy website pretending to be Christine. There he contacted Ryan, and with Magalhaes' help, lured him to the couple's home, believing he was meeting Christine to have sex. Magalhaes said the plan was for her to pretend Ryan was an intruder and call Banfield to come help, making it all look like they killed Ryan after he stabbed Christine. She says in reality, Banfield stabbed his wife after he shot Ryan in the head. Banfield maintains he did not create the account on the fetish website and did not kill his wife. He was also later charged with child neglect and abuse. as his 4-year-old daughter was in the basement at the time of the killings. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges.
Juliana Perez Magalhaes pleaded guilty to manslaughter last year and is cooperating with prosecutors, making her perhaps the most explosive witness in this trial. She told the jury she couldn't live with the guilt any longer, and that Banfield allegedly orchestrated every detail, from the fake accounts to the attack itself. Before we go any further, let's slow this down just for a second, because a lot of people hear the word au pair
What was your job?
and assume it's just
I
a
was
name.
their au pair.
And what? So you said you worked as an au pair. What does that mean?
Au pair is like a nanny position, but somebody comes from another country, providing care for their kids, and in exchange they live with their family. And yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
Do you get paid to be an au pair?
Yes,
How much?
$200 a week.
And how long of a stay did you have as an au pair?
We can have from a year to 2 years, but as an au pair, I stayed for a year.
Okay.
Here's where it gets weird. Prosecutors allege Banfield didn't just murder someone. He allegedly used a sex fetish website to lure a man into his home. According to testimony, Banfield and the au pair used his wife's laptop to create a fake account on a fetish site, posing as Christine, to bait a man who'd agree to consensual violent role-play fantasy. They allegedly wanted the guy there so that they could stage it like he stabbed his wife, giving Brendan a reason to shoot him.
Take a look at
That's
Commonwealth Season
premeditated
2.
on another level.
Can you describe for us what it is?
It's a post made on a profile.
And what website was this posted on?
Fat Life.
And what was the reason for posting it?
It was what the account was first created, I guess, and to tell people what she was looking for.
And whose idea was it to post this? Whose idea was it to post this?
Brendan.
Okay. We can terminate this view at this point. How did you and Brendan, how did you use the laptop? How did the two of you use her laptop without her knowing about it?
It was because every time she used to get home from work, she used to throw her backpack by the door, and in the backpack was her laptop and her work stuff.
And once the FetLife account was created, what, if anything, did the two of you do with it?
Texting other people, other guys. They would also text looking for whatever it is that they're interested in.
Okay. And had Brendan explained to you at this point in time, or was there any explanation given to you about what it was that he was using FetLife for, or what it was he was looking for from another FetLife user?
Yeah.
What was that?
The website is for BDSM, people that like that kind of stuff, and he said we would be able to find somebody that plays like aggressive or that likes playing with blood and that kind of stuff.
And why? What was the what if any reason did he want to find someone like that for?
Well, because the person would be eventually the person would be invited to come to the house, and he needed to know that the person was willing, or he was going to do what he had in his mind.
And what was he using FetLife to ask other users to do to the Anastasia profile?
Things like pinning her down, gagging her, spanking. Yeah.
And when the two of you used FetLife to message other people, were you, who would do the typing? Were you typing? Was Brendan typing?
To talk to other people?
Yes.
You asked. Sometimes it would be him, sometimes it would be me by his instruction when he was with me.
And were the two of you typically together while you were using FetLife to message other people?
Yes.
And was Christine home or not home when the two of you used FetLife?
She was home.
Always?
Yes.
Here's the alleged motive. Brendan and the au pair were having an extramarital affair, and prosecutors say he wanted his wife out of the picture. Prosecutors claim the affair started in 2022, and by early 2023, Banfield allegedly planned all of this to avoid divorce, custody battles, and financial fallout. Now the defense has a different playbook. They deny the catfishing scheme and are going after the evidence itself. They brought in their own digital forensics expert, claiming Christine herself could have created that fetish account, and that the police might have jumped to conclusions. So what does all this mean? If the jury believes the prosecution, this was one of the most calculated, cold-blooded double murders you've ever heard of. If they buy the defense, there's reasonable doubt on how the digital evidence was interpreted. And either way, this case is shaping up to be a courtroom battle worthy of Netflix. Before we end this story, it's important to pause. At the center of the case, there are two people who lost their lives, Christine Banfield and Joseph Ryan. Christine Banfield, a wife, a mother whose life was taken inside the place she should have been safest. And Joseph Ryan, a man who never made it home, drawn into a situation that ended in violence and death. No matter where the verdict lands, 2 lives were lost, 2 families were forever changed, and nothing can undo that. Our thoughts remain with those who are grieving, and with the truth wherever it ultimately falls. Before the jury decides Brendan Banfield's fate, we want your take. Do you think he'll walk, or will he spend life in prison? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button if you want more deep dives like this. Hit subscribe for weekly cold cases and courtroom breakdowns. And ring the bell so you never miss an upload.